Christian leaders, listen to me. You can lead a church, build a business, crush all your goals, and win every race in life and still be losing at home. And if you're not careful, the race to success can and will destroy your marriage. Today, I'm calling out something that nobody tells us, that nobody talks about, especially for men that lead. How success can destroy your marriage. I'm Calvin Williams, and this is Faith Fuel Cycling. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 warning signs that'll let you know if your marriage may be on the chopping block due to running your race way too hot. And this is not an indictment on success. It's not an indictment on chasing dreams and goals, but this is a warning. This is a warning to you. These 3 things are crazy serious, all right? So I need you to follow with me. I'm gonna use a couple bike analogies, but I wanna make this plain so that you can catch it. Number 1, there's zero communication in your Peloton. You don't check in. If you're riding a bike, you're riding in a group, you know you have to communicate on the ride. You have to call out potholes. You got to call out obstacles. You have to let people know if you're slowing down. You got to let people know if you're tired, right? Communication in a Peloton is so important because you have people's lives on the line behind you. Plus, your life is on the line. So you want to call out whenever you see obstacles or trouble. Now, what does this mean? That means leaders communicate on the bike and in their teams. That means if we're communicating on our bikes or in our businesses, in our ministry, how can you be silent in your home? Sure, you out front, riding hard, pushing. But a leader who doesn't look back ends up riding alone. In other words, we can push so hard that we can end up by ourselves. Let us remember that communication is key. We got to call out just like we do when we're on a ride. So in your marriage, make sure the communication ain't slipping. Number 2, right? Coming after communication, there is no rhythm in your leadership. Your cadence is off. Now, some people can ride at a slow cadence and grind on harder gears. Some people sit more mid-range and can spin. It all based off of the terrain that we own. But if we ain't communicating, our spouse, our house, they don't know what terrain you're pushing for. They don't know how long this hill or mountain is going to last. They don't know the cadence we own. And if your rhythm's off, everybody's rhythms off. And what does that look like? That looks like sprinting when you should be pacing. That looks like coasting when you should be connecting, getting together, saving energy. Let me give you this. Leadership without rhythm will cause resentment. If there is no rhythm, there is no plan, there is no messaging, there is no breakdown on how long we're going to have to push this hard, or how long it's going to take this type of grind, or how long it's going to be. Everything is off. And it's going to cause a level of resentment that can destroy a marriage. Communication, setting a rhythm. Are you following me? That's 2. Number 3 could be outpacing your household. What does that mean? You riding too far ahead. You on chapter 10 whenever they're on chapter 1. They don't know the plan. They don't know where we're going. And you're so far ahead, they can't effectively follow you. The power of a pace line is in the fact of being close. It's in proximity. As we're closer, as we're drafting, we catch more of the benefit. It's said that as one is drafting, you need to be anywhere from 3 inches to 3 feet apart, right? The closer, the better. You ain't trying to clip nobody wheel, right? But the closer, the better. Once you get out of that 3 foot at pace, people start to fall off. What does that mean for marriage? If you're outpacing your household, if you're leading so far ahead they can't see you, that means you ain't riding the line. You're not creating a team, a community. You're not leading a household. You're running a race by yourself. It's much like it's like we on the bike, right? We gonna be on the bike for a second. You on the bike and you riding with some of the guys, right? But you're riding with a rider that's weaker than you, right? Matter of fact, summer, this past summer, I was taking special time out where on Mondays I would ride with my pastor and we would ride fast and far, right? That would be Monday. On my Saturday ride, I will go out. I would call that my beginner ride. I would go out with guys that weren't that strong, that were just getting started out, that may have gotten their first bike. And guess what? That speed, that cadence was different. That pace was different. Because if you're riding with someone that's a weaker vessel, come on, somebody, you're riding with a weaker vessel, you got to go at a different pace. You got to set the expectation. And by setting expectations, you understand that you're on this ride with me. I have to stay in a place where you can at least see me so that you don't get discouraged. Because what happens when you're riding that ride and the person that you came to ride with that finally talked you into coming, you're riding and they left you. You saw their back. You saw they got smaller and smaller. You stop seeing their light. You don't even see anything and you're alone. All you can do is keep going. But when there is no encouragement, when there is no one in front of you, when there is no help, many quit. Many give up. And this is not an indictment on success. It's not an indictment on chasing dreams and goals. Absolutely not. But this is a warning. This is a warning to you that as we chase our passions, our God given callings, even, you can't forget your first love. Now, what does that mean? What does that look like in all? Number one, we got to communicate. But we can do it in business, we can do it at home. Me and my wife, we do pillow talk. Every night, we running through, update, check in, let know what's going on, what's on your heart, what's on mine. We have date night every other week or so. We have little conversations, we check in, see what's going on. We set the rhythm, the tone with the activity so that we can communicate, right? And we can understand what pace we're going to be on. Now, whenever we're pushing for success, we're pushing for a goal, we're pushing for that dream, yes, there will be times of unbalance. But that unbalance, that pace must be communicated ahead of time so that one can be prepared and know that yes, you may outpace me for a minute. You may have to grind and hustle to make our dreams come true. But you're not leaving me. You're just blazing the trail. We as men, we have to understand that what's not communicated cannot be understood. Communicate, call out. Because a leader who doesn't look back for those that are following him will ultimately end up riding alone. If this has confronted you, then good. That means God has called you to realign. And that's exactly what the 5-day Reignite Challenge is all about. This challenge is where Christian men and leaders rediscover what true leadership at home looks like. Don't be the man that wins all the races in public, but in private, it's falling apart, it's crumbling. It's time to reignite, reset, and get back in alignment with God's will for your life and for your household. If that's what you're looking for, click the link below. Let's connect. Let's reset, realign, and reignite your life for the better. Let's get it done. See you on the inside.